I'm currently in Algonquin Park, and winter has arrived. In this video, I capture some epic winter conditions.
Will you look at that?
I'll share my landscape photography process with you.
See if any of these treetops are catching any direct light.
And test how my Sony a7 IV holds up in winter weather.
Saw this absolutely wicked composition.
Hello everyone, and welcome to day 2 of my Algonquin winter adventure. After an exciting and photo-packed first day, I'm ready for more. The weather forecast for the day is predicting a wet and windy snowstorm, and that's exactly what I'm hoping for.
My plan is to set up a time lapse, sort of looking over the frozen lake, and I'm hoping to capture a lot of this snowstorm. I've set that up for infinite recording, and in theory it'll just die at some point, but that might be into the night. So I'll come by in a few hours and check on it. My plan for today is that I'm going to be checking on this time lapse every little while. And then there's this field just over here, which I think is the start of the bike trail. But it's got some dead trees in it that I think look really beautiful. But the background behind them isn't so great, and it's hard to separate them. But a snowstorm is probably going to change the atmospherics a little bit in a way that's going to make the background less visible. I think my plan is to just sit here until the conditions either become good and I take a nice photo, or the conditions suck and I have to leave. Well, the conditions are starting to get a lot nicer, more atmospheric. I have gone for f5, which is giving me 160th of a second, probably around that. These hilltops in the background, while they're low, they do have a few different layers to them, which I think is really nice. So I've just sort of brought my subject here, this tree, off to one side. But really what's going on is this separation.
As the conditions changed, I started to get nervous that I might come away empty-handed.
All right, looks like there's going to be some light. I can see the sun coming through, so I'm just getting everything in focus for the possibility of this being just a crazy, crazy shot. What I would love is some light on my tree and then still the separation from the background. Oh, I don't know, it might just be a second, fleeting little bit. I've completely abandoned my stuff back there. And I don't really care. I don't think anyone's here to steal it anyways, but I just gotta get this shot.
But my anxiety had gotten the better of me, and I needed to slow down.
I think I was just so rushed. I didn't actually really like that composition being super close and kind of wide. I think it really cluttered the foreground quite a lot, and it didn't actually get to show the layers of the mount that's behind this tree. So I've come back again. And I think I might even keep moving back just a little bit. And now what I'm waiting for is more snow, more wind. I've gone for a really simple, just subject right in the middle. I think when you've got the right conditions, that's a very powerful composition to pick.
The best way for me to grow as an artist is to get feedback and iterate. Let me know what you think down in the comments.
Well, just heading back to the campsite to grab a couple things, I saw this absolutely wicked composition, and it's not better, it's just different than the other one. I'm going to just grab the camera and tripod out of the trunk and just wander over to this location here. Well, I'm not too sure what's going to be the best composition of this subject, but I took a vertical orientation and a landscape orientation, and the landscape orientation seems a little too busy, but the vertical orientation seems that the tree is too crowded.
what other winter scenery I could photograph, to see how the landscape had changed with this new blanket of snow. But to my surprise and to my luck, the weather was about to change.
Well, the snow abruptly stopped, which usually means that the clouds are going to clear and there's going to be some absolutely gorgeous light, which is what is happening right over here. Well, I'm back at this location I was at yesterday. This little rock peninsula has now got a nice covering of snow, and there's this weird kind of slush ice in front of where, I put my tripod, and then, the conditions have calmed and the light is starting to show. All right, I see a hole in the clouds just right over here. I think if I wait 30 seconds or so, I'm going to get some light. I'm just kind of taking image after image because I don't want to look directly at the sun. So I'm kind of timing it so that, as these clouds are moving, the moment that I see light on my camera, that's the time to take an image, because the cloud is going to move enough that that light is going to be on my subject by the time my 2-second timer goes off. Well, I got super lucky. I saw piece of blue sky coming that I knew was going to light up my entire composition, was going to be absolutely beautiful, but I could hear in the distance this gigantic truck. Well, it was a snowplow, and it didn't stop, it didn't slow down, it didn't pull over, it just slushed me completely at the exact moment when the composition lit up. But I got the shot.
It was time for me to head over to my sunset location, but by this time I was ready to quit for the day.
Well, my planned location was a bit of a bust. I went down Lake Opiongo Road only to get halfway down it, maybe a little more than half, to find that there was a gate locking it. I've come here to Spruce Bog, which is just across the street from where I was yesterday at sunset, but the sky has kind of opened up, and I think in just a few minutes I'm going to get the last little bits of sunlight for this day. This composition, I think, has too much mid-ground. I really wish that this creek was a little less frozen, maybe with one, kind of band of water right through the middle of it. But c'est la vie. I'm going to take what I can get from this absolutely spectacular day. Snowstorm, beautiful light, just everything all wrapped into one. One last thing. Sundown, time to go pick up my time lapse. You didn't think I'd forget about that, did you? Well, look at that. It appears I've misjudged the angle of the sun this morning, and I'm so happy that I did. It's a little more to the right than I thought it was going to be, and the result is just spectacular. The clouds are lighting up from the bottom, but I'm going to get a different shot than I thought. I think I'm going to get the sun coming over the horizon, illuminating my subject, this beautiful cottage, without the background being too blown out, without the background being really illuminated. But the sky, just beautiful light right now. I am getting this beautiful cloud kind of arching over top of my subject, and the sun hasn't risen, but it looks like it's just about to. What I'm hoping is going to happen is that the sunrise is here, illuminates my subject, but the background in shadow. And if I could get some cloud underneath it, being illuminated by the sun, that would just be a bonus. I'd like that. I'm just checking behind me over here to see if any of these treetops are catching any direct light, trying to time out when the sun is going to rise, because I don't want to be staring at the sun. So I've got to use a proxy, something else, to sort of help me figure out exactly when it's going to rise. Well, I got so many beautiful photos right now. It's going to be hard to pick. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.